So guys, this is the rotwood that you don't want. This is red rotwood. As you can see, comes apart super soft, but it's that orangey red color. So it's actually a pine tree or spruce, or it's a coniferous tree of some sort. You don't want this. If you found this as a whitewood, is ideal. But otherwise, this is no good for your animals. Not any good for what we want. If you have red rot beetles, perfect. But otherwise, no good for isopods or millipedes. So, this right here is white rotwood. As we can see, crumbles off, super soft. Literally breaks in your fingers. This is perfect for your isopods and millipedes. I don't really use this stuff myself too much, just because we make the flake soil. Tree's still kind of frozen. But this is the ideal. When someone says you want white rotwood, this is the stuff. See how it's a drastic color difference compared to that orangey red from the pine that we saw earlier? Perfect stuff. So you could take this home and you soak it for 24 hours fully submerged and then give it right to your bugs. It's full of good bacteria and things like that. And the good thing about collecting it in cold weather like we are now, as you can see with the snow, there's nobody inhabiting it because it's too cold. So you're less likely to have occupants living inside this stump this high up where you're going to be collecting this time of year. So I'm just going to drop this back down here for someone who lives out here to eat later on down the road. So guys, I just wanted to point out this gross foam mass here. So if you're familiar with saltwater aquariums, this is basically the stream's version of a protein skimmer. So what happens is, as it moves across the rapid branches and things like that, it creates these little bubbles, but it collects the pollutants and fish waste into this airy, foamy mass thing that kind of collects there. And now it's all trapped, dissolved organics before it gets broken down. As the water passes under it, it's going to force it back into the water system. But a lot of people are always wondering what that is, so I figured I would just point it out and give a little bit of insight. So guys, the other big one that I like to collect this time of year is going to be branches. This is absolutely massive, as we can see. But because not much is going to be living on here, so what I want to do is I want to snap off a lot of these outlying branches. Because if you've been following the channel for a bit now, you know that we do a lot of smaller tanks. So like, I know that something around this size is going to do me good. But it has lichen and various mosses and things growing on it, so it's going to add some color to our tanks. And what I'd really like is this big piece here for more of a show piece in a larger tank. So I'm going to snap off some of these little branches that are going to impede me fitting it in my car. And it's going to end up coming home with us too. So I might even keep this little one because I can use it for like jumping spider enclosures or things like that. But again, this was already fallen on the ground. Didn't break it off a tree or anything. And there's nothing going to be living in it. And as you can already see, there's already mosses and other fun little things that we want to add to our enclosures growing on it. So you can't get much more natural than that. So guys, my next little section is on mosses. So you've seen in some of our other videos that we use a lot of natural mosses. I like to collect it off of rocks like this here. But what I do is I only take a small patch. So I'll take a small patch, put it in our bag, and I'll go to a different spot or a different rock. And I'll take another small patch. As you can see, it really lifts off the rock easily. And again, because it's so cold, nothing is living inside this moss for us. And then we're going to soak it when we get home, which I'll show you a little later on. Well, we gather a couple more pieces here for some future builds. Just small pieces. Comes right off the rock really easily. It does come off wood reasonably easily as well, like you see here with the root. But I think that's enough for us, guys. Well guys, we've made it home at this point, and I've loaded our branch and our moss into a bucket, which I'm now filling with water. Hopefully you can hear me over the water. It's just lukewarm water. I'm just going to fill it so that everybody's fully submerged for the next 24 to 48 hours, and then I'll pull it out and make sure that I let it dry before I use it in any enclosures or anything. But that's how we wrap up things for our scavenger hunt today. Hope you enjoyed.